Brad, well, first of all, happy belated birthday. How does it feel to be evicted on your birthday week?
Um, well, to be honest, not that I got ESPN or anything. I kind of predicted this. My birthday week is always a rough one. I think I got a really good 360 days a year. So those five around my birthday are always, for some reason, pretty terrible. So it was sort of expected, I think.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of craziness yesterday morning, Thursday, about the vote flipping with Felicia, and she asked you to your face if you were going to take a cupcake home with you, which probably set off our alarm bells. So, what was going through your mind?
Well, I knew that something was going on. The morning started off weird, and even the day before, there were a couple of odd um, groupings where people were talking, and it looked suspicious. And then with the cupcake comment, it seemed very pointed. I don't think it was a slip up. I think I even said so. And I think it surprised Bowie Jane too. So I did leave the cupcake and I didn't take it, but it wasn't because I wanted to take it home. It was just because it was past its prime, wasn't exactly something I was going to eat anyway. So,
Right. Well, so what was happening the day before on Wednesday that made you suspicious?
well, just people talking in a situation where they were assuring me that it was safe, but there were still whispers going on when I would come into a room that would stop. And of course, that happens a lot in Big Brother. So you just kind of discredit it and move on, take it with a grain of salt and whatnot. But um, it definitely felt like I was being left out of something, and some other people were as well. So you watch people's reaction when other people who you feel that you're aligned with go around too, and people didn't let Bowie Jane in much at all. Not that they do anyway,
Right.
uh, but it definitely felt more so that she was kept on the outside as well. So I definitely had an eyebrow raised, if you will.
hmm were you given any like heads up like minutes before the live show started?
No, I don't think I was given any type of inclination other than, Jag seemed a lot happier than he normally would be in those situations. So just watching people's mannerisms and such like that. And that was really the reason for my closing speech. There were a lot of thoughts that I had and things that I could have potentially said to the house, but I felt it better just to, keep those things to myself and let everybody know that I loved them, and whatever happened, I would still love them and go on with that. So.
Mhm. Well, do you regret not talking to Cameron first after Jared told you that Cameron had thrown you under the bus?
I mean, kind of. I mean, there's always going to be that little bit of, well, this is what I should have done in that situation. But honestly, I was in there trying to play a game of honesty,
Mhm.
loyalty, and integrity. And ultimately, I had made a promise to Jared via handshake that I would keep those things to myself till a certain point in time because of the plans that he had, and it would have potentially disrupted those things. On a personal level, absolutely. I wish I could have had things mended before I left. But I think me and Cam will be just fine. I mean, that's my boy. Me and him had a lot of good times, a lot of laughs. We're both ignorant. We're both um, dads. So yeah, I think it can be repaired.
I mean, I'd say your hot tub breakup was incredibly devastating. And he seemed to be very like he wasn't mad at you. I think he just seemed like very confused, but he was very open to like, hearing you out and letting you have your space again.
Yeah,
So, yeah, seems that you
and
guys feel right.
I really appreciated that about him too, and it made me think. I really couldn't wrap my head around why he would have said those things, but there were other people that I trusted that were telling me in collaboration with what Jared was telling me, obviously because they were, you know,
Mhm.
um, that made it make a little bit of sense. And it is Big Brother, so you kind of expect a certain level of deceit, and it's pretty easy to pit people against each other with that tool.
Right. Well, I mean, I guess the irony is like, in the goodbye messages, multiple people told you that they didn't want you to mend your relationship with Cameron. And then later in the week, you did want to mend your relationship. And so that's like ironic. That was like your downfall, really, because you let it be known that you wanted to fix things with him.
Well, mostly it was that I wanted to let him know the reasoning. So it wasn't necessarily that I wanted to fix things. And I think the conversation would have been one of just finding out exactly what he was thinking in that moment. So Ultimately, it would have probably mended things, but I don't know that in my headspace that was my intention. Because I mean, I felt betrayed and I felt hurt in that situation because we had made promises to each other as well, and I felt like he had went back on those, and especially from somebody you trust, it hurts more, you know.
Yeah, for sure. So what would you have done had you stayed?
Um, had I stayed, I think, and had that opportunity to have that conversation, it seems like that Felicia would have definitely been my next target, and a lot of people in the house as well. And I even had a cool little saying, you know, she did the whole Heisem thing, why get rid of a knight when you get rid of a king? But
Right.
people often forget that the queen is the most dangerous piece and she moves in all directions. So that was kind of what I was planning for
Mhm.
that situation, which is unfortunate because I felt like it would be disassembling Legend 25, but it also felt like the best move moving forward.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Cameron won HOH last night. So what do you think
Yeah.
he's going to do? Is he going to target her? Is he going to avenge your eviction?
Honestly, I think he will. I think a lot of his choices will be based on what happened with me, um, especially now that I know that what was said wasn't exactly truthful. I'd say he'll probably target Izzy, um, but who knows? Who knows what's gotten in his ear? What he's being told now that I'm gone. So it'll be interesting to watch for sure. But I'm definitely rooting for my boy.
Of course. Well, lastly, Julie told you that Jared and Cirie are related, son and mother. So how do you look back on like their gameplay now, knowing that information?
Well, they're dangerous. Honestly, when you got that type of bond, it's tenfold more dangerous than any showmance ever could be. They know each other's ins and outs. They can communicate without communicating on some level. Um, there was some inclination that they may have known each other in the beginning just because of the way they were acting around each other and that. But Cirie's also very personable. So is Jared. So a lot of those things were kind of swept under the rug. Um, I think they're set up to go really far in this game.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Red, it was great watching you. It was so much fun. Sorry to see you go, but it was a blast for 5 weeks. And thanks for
Yes,
your time.
yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.